All right, good morning, everyone. So the session for today is the flavors of non-clustered indexes. I apologize for the lack of the "of" in the title and when it was posted online. For some reason, I must not have reread that out loud, and it kind of probably felt a little awkward saying the name of the title. The topic of today is, of course, non-clustered indexes, a topic that I've talked about here a few other times. Some of this might sound a little bit familiar if you've seen the other non-clustered index sessions that I've done. But the main point that I'm getting at here today is people need to pay attention to the ways in which non-clustered indexes can be put together and take advantage of it. Just the building of non-clustered indexes when I go out to clients is something that is a fairly easy thing to use to solve problems and performance issues at clients, and so I like to go in and talk about them over and over again to drive home that message.
Jason, could I get you...
as already stated, my name is Jason Straight. Sure.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I get you to turn off your Skype? Or you just had a pop-up?
That was my phone. That was making that sound.
Okay.
I just silenced it, got it out of the way there.
Okay, but it showed some messages, so does that show up on your screen?
No, nothing showed up on my screen because I've got Skype, email, and link turned off.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure what would have popped up.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I know what it was. One moment. There we go. It was Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Sorry about that. Thought I'd gotten all of them. So, my name is Jason Straight. If you have questions about indexing afterwards, please put them into or even throughout the session, please put them into the Q&A box. I will answer them as best we can. If you want to get to this presentation and other resources that I put together on indexing, you can go to jasonstraight.com/go/indexing. All the materials presented today will be available later on. And I've done quite a bit with indexing over the years. I actually have a book that I put out with A-Press on performance indexing. So if you want to learn more afterwards, there is plenty of resources out there. I am with Pragmatic Works. Pragmatic Works hosts these Tuesday and Thursday training sessions. Basically, if it's being done with SQL Server, Pragmatic Works can probably put it together for you. But getting started here today, before I get into the agenda, I just want to point out that we talked about a little bit of ice cream facts before we started today, and you will see lots and lots of pictures of ice cream in the session today. Hopefully that doesn't make anyone hungry and force them to go out and get some ice cream today. So when it comes to non-clustered indexes, there's lots of ways that these can be put together. There's a lot of options that are available with non-clustered indexes, and there's things that you need to think about whenever you're making any non-clustered index to make sure that everything gets put together the way it is, because any query that you run on your system, there is a set of indexes that can be built and put together for it that is going to make things just work good together. And so, you want to get the ones that are built out there that are perfect for you, that bring out that happiness, that make everything just jive together. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking today. And you want to be careful when you're building all of these that you don't, get that brain freeze from your ice cream and slow things down by overbuilding and over allocating out your resources. A lot of what we're going to talk today is about building non-clustered indexes. I'll do a presentation in the future where we can talk about how to destroy the indexes that you've built, or more, put in a better way, to get rid of the ones that you don't need and do some index maintenance. But today we're going to just talk about building out those indexes, and so that at the end you can take all of this information that we're going to go through today, and you can use it to evaluate what indexes you want to build and figure out exactly how to cobble it all together. Hopefully get something that looks about as nice as this banana split on the screen looks. So we're talking about non-clustered indexes, and non-clustered indexes is basically a way to build a secondary path into any of your tables. We build clustered indexes so that we can go directly to the rows that we hit the most often. And so those are the indexes that are associated with the ID columns that are on our tables. But there are other ways that we need to get to the data. If you've got a search where you're searching for last name, you don't want to scan the entire table. You want to be able to go directly to people with, say, last name of street, because it's not going to be the entire table. In my experience, there's not a lot of streets out there, and so if you're going to be doing a search just for my last name, you want to be able to go directly to those rows. You don't need to look at 2 billion rows to find the one or two rows out there. They are sorted. They're sorted from left to right within non-clustered indexes. You can have one or more columns. Every single non-clustered index has pointers back to either the heap or the clustered index rows that are associated with it. And then the other thing is, on these key columns, you can never have lob data. All the large object data that's out there cannot be in your non-clustered indexes as key columns. The operations that SQL Server will do if you give it some non-clustered indexes to work with, this is going to do index seeks and index scans. And by having these index seeks and index scans off on secondary indexes, these non-clustered indexes, you can avoid having scans on your clustered indexes, because anything that SQL Server is going to use to go through on your non-clustered index is typically something that would not have resulted in a seek